If you're considering doing backflips on a motorbike, getting shot from a cannon, working as an assistant to a blindfolded knife thrower, or procrastinating about doing your filing, cleaning your garage, or taking on any challenge where you're worried you might fail, then you might want to take a look at this vlog. If an alien pointed a gun at my head and gave me 10 seconds to talk about goal setting, sure, I'd tell them about the SMART acronym. Now, the SMART acronym doesn't help you achieve a goal, it just describes what a goal should look like. You put your challenge into the SMART formula and out pops a nice clear target. But hang on, that's wrong already. When we take on a challenge, when we try to improve our situation, it's not because we like to set targets, it's because we want to get some benefit. So when do we get the benefit? Is it only when you achieve your target, or do you start to get it bit by bit along the way as you put the effort in? I think because we see it so often in sport and competitions that we believe there's always a sharp division between success and getting a lot of benefit and failure and either getting no benefit or a lot of pain. And so we almost always think that if we don't reach our goal, then we've not only failed, but worse, the whole challenge has been a waste of time. But is that really the case? Recently I was down in Wanaka and I found myself at the start of the track that leads up to Royds Peak. You could look up and see the track taking switchback after switchback until there, above the snow line, above the yaks, above the Sherpas, blowing in the jet stream, was the jagged summit of the mountain. It was getting late in the day, but I set myself the goal of getting to the top. I didn't make it. I turned back a few hundred meters from the summit. Let me ask you a question. Did I fail? Really? Isn't the opposite point of view also true? And doesn't that give you a hint that there is something unhelpful about the way we think about goals and achievement? Here's my go at untangling it. Yes, I did fail. Success was reaching the top and I didn't reach the top. But let me ask you a much better question. If I had known that I wasn't going to reach the top, should I still have taken on the challenge? To figure out the answer, you've got to know what the benefits are. Because achieving success, that is reaching the target, is not the same thing as getting the benefits. In this case, I was going for a run to burn off some energy, see some fantastic views and get fitter. Regardless of my slightly arbitrary goal of getting to the top, every step I took up the track, I was getting the benefits. You can characterize any challenge based on the relationship between effort in and benefit out. Most goals fall into only two camps, ramps and steps. For some challenges, the more effort in, the more benefit out. These are goals like getting fit, losing weight, saving money, learning a language, or jogging up a peak to get a view. These are ramps. In some cases, though, there is a sharp line between success and failure. Like if you're in the business of doing backflips on a motorbike, if you're a cliff diver, or starting a land war in Asia, or if you find yourself playing that weird Mayan ball game where the losers get sacrificed to the gods. For these types of challenges, things are pretty normal until the moment of performance when you either get all the benefit or you don't. Let's call these types of challenges steps. Here's the clever bit. Most challenges that we take on in our real life are not do or die, winner take all step goals. Most of the actual goals we take on in life, the more we achieve, the better off we are. They are ramp goals. If we miss our target by 1%, we still achieve 99% of the benefit. But we treat them like step goals. Our challenges are often like game show cash grab machines. The more we do, the better off we are. But we treat them as if they are do or die motorcycle stunts. Which means if you ever feel that you are not going to be successful, then your motivation plummets. This means it's more likely that you won't take on a goal that you might get at least some benefit from. You quit early on, those challenges you should persist at, and if you don't reach your target, you give yourself a good psychological kicking. In summary, I'm saying that you will make better decisions and have a healthier mindset if you are clear about when you get the benefits. And in the next vlog, I look at putting this distinction to work. It turns out that it's surprisingly helpful. I'll be suggesting ways to keep up motivation even when it looks like you're going to fall short, and how you can safely approach doing a backflip on a motorbike or any other challenge that might leave you broke or broken.